Hey, this is Joe Castiglione, and you're listening to Not Another Sox Podcast. Can you believe it?
Yankees suck! Yankees suck!
Buenos noches, amigos, and welcome to an emergency episode of Not Another Sox Podcast. We are tied, bottom of the ninth, 3-3. Red Sox have a chance to clinch a playoff spot for the first time in 4 years here. We had to get it set up quick, but holy shit, coming at you live from Providence, Rhode Island. I'm Jack Webster here with our producer, Ian Doran. Let's fucking do it right here, right now.
In the Fenway Greens, dude, a walk-off 3-3, bottom of the ninth.
We only know how to walk off in these uniforms, so.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
You got Yoshida up to bat now. We're at 2 pitches in the bottom of the ninth inning. It's 1-1 from Canely to Yoshida. Let's see the pitch here. That's ground ball.
Grounded, okay.
That's okay. Yoshida's been good. He's been hot. I like him. I like what he's been doing for this team. How do you feel the game has been going so far as we're waiting for our next batter?
Definitely feels like a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of anxiety even just heading into the last few days, knowing that we had this opportunity. Glad we have a little bit of cushion room for sure, but, you know, I feel like the game kind of came in, what was that, the fourth inning when we kept it 3-0 and now tied it up 3-3, so all the credit in the world to Alex Cora. Like, I think that's a moment we're going to look back in if we end up winning tonight and be like, that's when the game was decided.
Yeah,
so.
Took 0 chances, and I think that's why Cora is your playoff manager. I mean, swing to Romy.
And
that's a
is
blooper.
hit. That's a hit. That's
First
a hit.
base. Romy Gonzalez with a hit.
Yeah.
A little single to first.
I love all just the thumbs up. Dugout so into it. The boys are rallying tonight, though.
Yeah,
the boys are so into this right now. The whole Fenway crowd is just as electric as you're going to see. This feels just like October baseball. And
it almost is.
Yeah, like it is. This is as like high leverage as you're ever going to see in the regular season right now. We got Sadon up. He loves hitting walk-offs, so I would love if he just took another just like nice approach. He hasn't been like, you know, overly doing himself, like trying to swing for the fences. He just wants to, you know, make contact right now. And I think that's what you need.
And with the big hit already tonight, I mean, I want so much. Oh, and that's a hit.
Oh!
No way.
Oh,
That's a hit. Go. Romy.
Let's go! We're in the playoffs! Let's go! We are in the playoffs! Yes! Sadon Rafaela does it! Let's go! Let's go! We're in the playoffs! Sorry, Beatty! Let's go! Yes! Yes!
Oh, man,
Wow,
dude.
he does it! He is the king of clutch! Sadon Rafaela does it again for us! He is the man! We cannot walk off in these green jerseys, let me tell you! It is unbelievable! Right now, we have made the playoffs for the first time in 4 years!
Oh, my God. A guy who loves the moment, shows up clutch. Romy took off. He was ready.
Yeah.
He thought that was gone.
No,
I
he
thought
knew that was
done.
the leaves off the wall, got a great read, there was no chance at all. Beatty, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're all
excited
yelling, we're all
too,
yelling,
man.
Beatty. We're all excited.
Come here.
Oh,
Come
the
here.
champagne is going to be popping at Fenway tonight. This is honestly one of the best games. I'm so glad we decided to go live for that.
Yeah,
I was
me
a little
too.
like nervous that like if we did, then maybe, hey, who knows? Like maybe we jinx it, but that's not the case. Hey, Petey, that is definitely not for you.
Not the case.
Yeah.
No. Huge credit to AC. Yeah, Kyle Harrison hit a stride for a second, and then AC took no signs of trouble, put in the bullpen, and took care of business. That's why you love him. And even more so, that bullpen tomorrow night was not going to stand up to the Red Sox a second time. So with AC just taking very proactive moves tonight, I think influences your tomorrow night. But walking it off in the ninth, tomorrow doesn't matter. Neither does the day after. These guys can kind of take a step back, take a breather, get ready for the postseason.
Nothing over the next 2 days matters. Ranking, placings, I don't fucking care. You got to get through everybody to make it to the big dance anyways. So the most important thing is we're able to stack up ourselves very good over the next 2 days. We don't need to use Whitlock. We don't need to use Chapman. We can let Connolly early go a little bit deeper on tomorrow and do whatever we want on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Tigers' backs might be up against the wall, but we don't have to worry about that, and that's the big thing. And we didn't have to wait on the Athletics and Astros and whatever might happen there. We decided our own fate tonight. And
yeah, we did.
Over the last few days even. And now we are gonna be in the dance. We're gonna be in the dance. It's unbelievable.
Romy knew when he was crossing too.
Yeah.
He was screaming, he's ready. Look at this guy. He's celebrating. He's not even home. He's not halfway home. He's celebrating.
Yeah.
Dude, 2 huge hits from Cedon tonight. Counts for 2 of your runs. The team did really good under pressure. Showed up, delivered, and in the bottom of the ninth, in the Fenway Greens,
Cedon
clinched the playoff spot.
It's almost the same celebration that he had when he robbed that home run in Arizona. We're just like, he's on his knees, like he's praying, he's just screaming. It is so electric. Those shirts are awesome. I'm not usually a big guy of like, hey, like get the merch beforehand, but just the October baseball is just so nice and so clean, especially in the red. Don't love the Fanatics logo on there, but you know what? It all works. I'm so happy. They got me. I'm gonna buy something.
Yeah, they had that shirt ready for whoever walked the game off tonight. Whoever took care of business, they had one shirt ready for whoever that was. It says October Baseball Boston Red Sox 2025.
And by the way, you're welcome, Cleveland. I don't know how many we have some Cleveland fans from when in 2020 we briefly rebranded as a Guardians
I remember
podcast.
that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So anybody that might be watching that's a Cleveland fan that's just like, aren't you a Guardians podcast? Tonight we are. I'm cheering for you guys. Yeah, I am. I would much rather beat the Tigers than like have to walk back into something. So.
I mean, if I'm cheering for anyone else in the next few days, I'm cheering for the Guardians a little bit.
Come on.
We've done the work. We've taken care of business here. We are in the playoffs. So you know what? Go Guardians. I'm all about it.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I would still rather have Wally
October. We're back.
October
Wally
back.
in the background.
We're gonna have to stay live for some of the champagne bottle celebrations and everything. That's the most fun about this. I would be so sad if we didn't end up having like just one of those throughout the year. But yeah, I don't care about what anybody else does at this point. If Cleveland or the Astros or the Tigers make it, I don't care. I only care that the Red Sox made it. Yeah.
I don't even care what the Red Sox do right now. You can lose for the next 2 days and we'll still see you in October.
No, I would like.
You
honestly,
would still prefer
you know what?
to win, I'm sure.
It kind of depends on who we face in that wild card series, which I'm sure we'll get to. Like, you know, it could be the Blue Jays who we just faced. It could be the Yankees who we've spanked all year. But really, that American League right now is still wide open. And that includes us in that being wide open category, too, where, you know, like any team could win. You got to go through good teams to make it there anyways. The American League was better than what most people thought it was going to be this year. They beat the NL in interleague play. There's a lot more competitive teams in the wild card than there are in the NL wild card right now, which is like you can be 500 and almost make it. So just it's not going to be easy, but the door is open not only just to make October, but to actually do something in October, which is something that, you know, it is a good feeling that, you know, you're not just like going to be there and just leave the dance right away.
Yeah, you've talked a lot about the dance this year, the lights coming on at the bar at the end of the night. Well, here we are. Lights are coming on at the bar at the end of the night. The postseason is kind of its own, straight up 10 sitting at the bar waiting for you to order her a drink. But with the lights coming up at the end of the bar tonight, do you feel like we have a chance at going home with the girl, going home with the big dance?
I honestly think there's a chance. It's not always the best team that makes it, and we are not the worst team either. I think, even no matter what happens over the next 2 days, even if for whatever reason we end up with that third wild card spot, then we are still in a very good position no matter who we face. Now you get to know you have Garrett Crochet going game 1 of the wild card series, and you can figure everything out in game 2 and game 3, depending on what you need to do in each game in order to win. But just the fact that, we don't have to worry about that game 161, game 62, just feels enormous right now.
Yeah. When in the next few days do you use Dustin May? Or do you save him for the playoffs?
Well, he's still on the injured list, so he's probably not back.
Oh, so you're saving him then? Okay, I see how it is.
I'm saving him for
when he's healthy.
Yeah, back in 2029. Probably.
Yeah,
I'm not thinking about Dustin May right now. What? You are a pervert talking about Dustin May when all these boys are literally celebrating on the field.
Dustin May is more postseason history than most of the guys on this team. We got a Marcelo sighting here. Yeah. Ecstatic.
Who, by the way, is just doing baseball activities. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, we have Kyle Harrison here who, you know what? Gave you 3 decent enough innings, but I just don't know if he's ready for a playoff.
He probably won't
team.
make the playoff roster now, and he's fine for right now. You get a taste of him. Hopefully, you see more of him next year. Oh, th're taking
look
the photo
at the picture.
right now, and it is
they
beautiful.
Are.
Yeah.
Look at these
we can't
cheese
disseminate
and dudes.
this, but yeah.
We're not disseminating. We're not retransmitting
right in front of the
express
monster. That is going to be a screensaver if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
The whole crowd is there. Nobody's left.
No, would you leave?
No.
Would you leave Fenway Park right now?
Absolutely not. Yeah, I don't care if I got a train to make. I will sleep on the fucking streets of Boston.
Yeah, I would run into the bathroom and just rail a line off of the bathroom sink, get back out there and get into October
You'd be the first
baseball.
Person to do drugs at Fenway.
The first one to ever do a line at Fenway
By the way,
Park.
this is not medical advice. We give a lot of medical advice.
Do we? Wait, do we? Do we give a lot of medical advice?
Doing steroids. It's good. You're being a good teammate if you do steroids, yeah.
So before we talk about what happens in October, let's talk about tonight.
Yeah, let's get into tonight. We started off as hot as you can be. I was a little nervous about going live in the beginning because I was like, did we jinx it? I don't know or not, but, it was the right move. I am so excited to see our immediate live reaction to everything because that is as sincere as you're gonna get in your entire life.
Yeah, I'm glad we caught the moment. We caught it live. How are our pitching performances tonight, pal? What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Harrison, he did his job. I think I literally said this before even the walk-off. The game was decided in the 4th inning when it was 3-0, runners on second and third, no outs. And, Kyle Harrison got into some trouble before, worked out of it in the first, settled down a little bit, but Alex Cora was not fucking around tonight.
No,
Alex
he wasn't.
Cora was treating this like an October game, even with a little bit of cushion room. So you go to maybe your third best reliever in Justin Slayton, and he gets 2 big outs. He does have a walk in there. I think that's somewhat intentional even. He wasn't going to give, I'm blanking on who it is right now, but just anything good to hit. And you set up the double play, you get another strikeout, and then Alex Cora against Riley Green comes in with Steven Matz, another high leverage lefty, and he knows that AJ Hinch is not going to pinch hit, even though Riley Green does not hit lefties very well. And it ends up working out. He gets the out. He gets out of the jam. And then we just keep chipping away a little bit. We get one
pass
the next
the baton.
inning. Yeah,
pass
we pass
the baton.
Exactly. So the next inning, We get one, I believe Massa drives home Bregman, right?
Yep.
Yep. It makes 3-1. You wish you scored another one or two there. And then what is it, like the 6th or 7th inning? We get another run across. You feel like you might be the Nate Lau.
That was out of
the Nate Lau.
Lau, yep.
Yeah, because Sadon hit the double, and then no, it wouldn't have been Sadon, but somebody hits the double. It's almost a home run, and then you get the sac fly. You wish you tied the game there, but you finally come through in the 8th inning.
Yep.
By the way, you use Garrett Whitlock in the top of the 8th to keep it close.
Which was the right move.
Right move, yep. He's been nails really since the second half of the season, maybe giving up 1 or 2 runs. But you end up tying it up in the 8th there, and you just get that feeling. You get the feeling that, like, this is real. We have a real chance. You know, in the 9th inning that you have Aroldis Chapman coming up, and you get nervous because he gives up that leadoff double, but then he gets out of it, and I had no doubt that we were going to win that game, and that's why we went live. Like, I knew that – I didn't know if we were going to win it in the 9th, but I knew there was 0% chance that we were losing that game at that point.
I was taking 0 chances that we missed the reaction to a winning game. Like, even if we lost tonight, we would have gotten back on tomorrow night in the bottom of the 9th to record if we needed to. I was not missing the opportunity for us to react to clinching a postseason berth, especially in the bottom of the 9th. So
no, absolutely. Like, I'm so glad that we did that. It was so much fun. I'm sure we're going to get to see the champagne celebration a little bit here. Also celebrating that it's Apple TV's last game ever doing baseball again. So we'll not miss you, Apple TV.
Yeah, unfortunately, they picked quite a night to have their last Apple TV game. They clinched the postseason on an Apple TV game in 2025. I wanted to go back to something you had said. Putting in Garrett Whitlock was the right move. They were telling us on the broadcast, between Garrett Whitlock and Aroldis Chapman as your 8th and 9th, for the entirety of the season that they have been using those back-to-back, I think they said 56 innings, have a .38 ERA.
That literal video game numbers.
They're video game numbers. They're video game numbers.
And like that, like one of those runs came off at in Sacramento on a Wednesday afternoon. It doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. And Cora, as spectacularly as he managed tonight, reminds us that Cora is a guy who knows how to win today. He put in his high leverage guy in the 4th and the 5th. Great use of Zach Kelly in the 6th and 7th and all the other guys they used. And then going to your killers at the end of the game. And then you have Sadon come in and do what Sadon's done twice now, 3 times this year in huge moments, which you love. So Cora, just excellent managing tonight. And you clinch a playoff spot for the first time in 4 years.
Yeah, I really can't believe it. We got kind of close, and we had those teases the last few years of being somewhat in it at the deadline, and kind of being in it in August, and then you had September of this year where we were in a playoff spot all September. We were never not in a playoff spot down the stretch at this point. I think that's going to be something key to remember when looking back on this season, is this team actually held on. And there were some points, especially after you were lost Roman Anthony, that you're like, oh man, how are we going to manage this? And we went through some slumps. And, that... wild card leads started to get a little close at the end here, but it's the ups and downs of the season. This team, I think, even as much as any that we've seen over the last year, has been the epitome of it's so over, we're so back, and right now we are so back.
Hello, we're back department. I'd like to file a claim.
Literally, yes.
It feels so good. And they were just showing us here. The Red Sox this year lead MLB in walk-off wins. With 12, 6 of which were in the Fenway Greens. So I think they're magic.
I still believe it's true. All 6 of the Red Sox green wins have been on walk-offs.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. They were just telling us 6 of their 12 walk-offs have been in the greens. So
yeah.
That's correct.
I don't think they have a win in the greens that weren't walk-offs. So they're doing a little scoreboard watching here. We'll tune in. It doesn't matter for other people, but the Blue Jays are winning. I would still love for the Yankees to not win the division and not stack things up in their favor. So whatever.
Mm-hmm. They were telling us too. I promise.
Oh, they
I'm
did
not
win.
disseminating.
That's over. And it looks like the Yankees are going to win too, but who cares? It's the Orioles.
Yeah, I am not afraid of playing the Yankees in the playoffs. Have you seen Aaron Judge try to hit a baseball after October 1st?
I don't want to jinx anything, but the only team I truly fear in the playoffs right now is the Mariners.
Okay.
Because they're very hot. They have great pitching, and they have the MVP in Cal Raleigh. And this is less than me being biased right now.
Yeah, and if you're a Yankees fan, just cope.
Yeah.
Just cope.
I know. The cope online is so funny right now.
Yeah, it feels good. Cal Raleigh is my MVP, but coming back into Boston, you're afraid of the Mariners, if anyone. Are you afraid of the Mariners, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 50%? I don't know. How you feel?
Yeah, like 50 to 60. So, like, we could easily win a series against them. We have throughout the year. I believe we would have ended up with the tiebreaker if it ended up, going against them in like a wild card spot right there. But yeah, like the real challenge is if we somehow do make it all the way to the World Series, the NL team, like it's heavy stacked this year because you have the Brewers, the Dodgers, the Padres. And even the Phillies are doing pretty good. And then there was a lot of other shit where in the American League, there was a little bit more parity almost where the wild card teams are a lot better in the American League than the National League right now. But the division winners might be a little better in terms of the 97 to maybe 100 win Brewers where you're not going to have that in the American League. So it's a little bit of more average versus the world beaters because White Sox weren't as bad this year. It's not the NL had the Rockies.
Yep. The NL wasn't a very well. Actually, I lied. NL was very competitive.
Looking for the remote, by the way.
Definitely had a lot of garbo.
Remote is under my ass. I'm going to switch it over to Nesson, because they're going to have the actual post game celebration in the dugout with the champagne.
Fantastic. Yeah, let's get off of Apple TV Plus. They've done enough.
Yeah.
So we're going to switch ourselves over to Nesson, watch some of the champagne celebration here. I have no fear of the Yankees. I think I'm more afraid of the Blue Jays than the Mariners right now.
You got to take them. I think the thing that made me a little worried was that last series against the Yankees. They did show that
they hate us.
They're here. They're here to not just be there. They're an actual team. So as much as I hate them, it is true. You gotta make sure you're on your A game, and I'm not worried about the boys for that at all. Everybody in that clubhouse knows that. But yeah, in terms of me, who I want to face, honestly, yeah, the Yankees are up there for me. I think we stack up well against them. I think we stack up well against a lot of teams, but.
Yeah. So our first game against the Yankees,
we don't know who we're going to face. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say we are definitely going to run
We'll probably do another
crochet.
episode on Monday where we can do a little bit of a preview.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
We're doing a lot of content, and that's all for you folks.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm glad that we are because in recent years our content died 3 weeks ago.
Here we go. We got the champagne celebrations.
Wow. Who's that shirtless motherfucker? That's Roman Anthony.
Yeah.
Just walking around. Wow. Who's this? Is this Nate Eaton? As they're cleaning off the screen all the champagne that they had there. Everyone has goggles on.
I miss this so much. I
love how safe and
we got
organized
Duran,
this became.
That's Duran. Very easy to tell with the shirt off.
Oh, you don't... Yeah, that's not the lookalike? That's not the Jaron Duran lookalike from that one time?
Yeah. All these guys, are just so
they all
handsome,
look like Jaron Duran. I don't know which one's the real one.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Tell us. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yep, Jack Webster walking out of the room. He's got a little something to show everyone, or maybe not show anyone. I don't know. He's just going to get himself a little party favor. Oh, it sounds like he's getting the champagne. Fuck me, dude. Is there about to be champagne all over my house?
He's not gonna do a shower.
He's not going to do a shower, or so he says. He's probably just going to hit me with the cork. I don't know. I think I trust him. I think he's going to come back in with champagne. We're going to sip it and throw it. Thank you to all our listeners, everyone that's been listening with us throughout this year, who's listening with us tonight. Thank you to the Believe Network, of course, our sponsor network for sponsoring us and taking us on. We have Jack Webster returning here with 2 cups and some champagne.
You're going to get Mayor McCheese.
I'm getting Mayor McCheese on a glass. Jack Webster.
All right, I'm gonna try to open this up here. I gotta drop the mic again, but
yeah.
I'm gonna. We're not gonna do a champagne shower, but we are gonna pop some champagne right here live on another Sox podcast. It's California champagne.
You know what? That's fine. That's totally fine. So you're gonna pop this champagne. It looks like you brought yourself a McDonald's glass as well. We have Cal Ripken, the famous shortstop for the Orioles, on this glass. Big fan. But tonight's not about... Oh, no.
I'm sure that was great audio. But yeah, I used to have a Roberto Clemente one until a friend of ours broke it.
A friend of ours broke a Roberto Clemente.
Harris.
God. Another guy also named Jack. He's not in my top Jacks. I would say that this Jack is my top Jack.
He's in my top 5.
He's in your top 5 Jacks. He's in my top 5. I would say he's in my top 5 Jacks. But how do we know that guy is really Jarren Duran? I would think the tattoo that says Jarren, but how do you know? This is Roman
tennis
Anthony.
Racket. You need a tennis racket.
Roman Anthony douses this guy with a bottle of champagne. Wow, someone is putting a full-ass bottle down Roman's pants. You know what? Good for them.
All right, here we go.
All right. Jack Webster pulling it off. Oop. Little pop. I don't know if you heard that pop audio on the mic, but
No spillage. No spillage right there. Yeah, let's go, baby.
No spillage.
This is how a pro does it. You know, I'm not getting the whole clubhouse messy, and I would if we could, but I don't want the whole.
Like I was saying, how funny is it how safe and organized the champagne pop is now? Like they're all covered in the trash bags, and everyone's got their goggles on and their shirts off and all that good stuff. So it's funny to think of how organized champagne is now, but we're gonna enjoy a little champagne for ourselves. A little Mayor McCheese and Cal Ripken. Oh, these are man-sized pours.
Yeah.
Are we adults?
We're adults.
Yeah, we are. To the postseason.
Cheers to
Cheers
the
to you, pal.
postseason. Cheers for everybody for sticking through us throughout the year. It's been a very
Cheers.
fun year. I'm glad.
Yeah.
The last probably 2 years, we were kind of in a little bit of a limbo as a podcast, trying to figure out who's going to be the host and how we're going to do
Well,
things.
I think more so you didn't know what this team was, right? Like you're trying to build yourself a podcast, and you have a team that just loves losing in big moments, but not tonight. So I don't know. I feel like the podcast has been good, but now that we have a winning team, the podcast is that much better.
Yeah, no, I was a little worried, what's going to happen if, it's another stagnant team or whatever, but everybody that's really tuned in with us throughout the year or engaged with us online or even just listened here and there or even just giving us a retweet, that's what we really do it for. We make maybe pennies on... for what we do, and in terms of net profit, definitely not a positive. So just being able
net
to
zero if we're lucky.
if we're lucky. So just being able to do this and knowing people care about the team and about the stuff we're putting out is really kind of the big difference here. Since if it was another year of just mediocrity, I don't know if I could do it again, truth be told.
All right, here's my 50-50 question for you. Who do you think is more ecstatic? Red Sox fans that late season we got to pick up Nate Lowe, or Nate Lowe that he was picked up by what is now a playoff team in the late season?
It's got to be Nate Lowe because chances are we still find a way even without him. He's had some big hits. He's been a big addition. He's going to be he's our everyday first baseman.
Yeah. I can hit.
Which we just haven't had literally for more than a month this year. It's been, Romy or it's been Toro or, you obviously started off the year with Casas and you're expecting big things out of him. But once he came in, you kind of felt like you had that veteran presence there. You weren't just doing stopgaps Who knows if he's going to be back next year or not? But he is exactly what this team needs. He's your everyday first baseman in October, and he's got to be living his best life, especially as a dude that made it to the World Series with the Rays in 2020, made it to the World Series with the Rangers in 2023, gets traded to the worst team in the National League East in 2025, plays so bad that he gets released from the worst team in the AL East or the NL East in 2025 to like being on a contender and contributing. It's not only like he's
contributing,
here,
yes, making a difference. You said it.
Exactly. It's not only like he's here to like fill a gap or whatever, but like he had a big sac fly tonight. He had some big hits, especially when he first came out here. It's not going to be perfect with a guy that you just pick up in middle of August that he was released, as you know, but like he has made a big difference. And maybe without him, maybe we're not playing, or maybe we're not celebrating with the champagne tonight. Maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's Sunday, or maybe we don't at all. Who really knows? But like, he is everything that you could have asked for, and essentially just a do-over from fucking up at the trade deadline.
Do you think that these guys are going to go home tonight and be like, oh, sorry, honey, late night at work. Yeah, long night. We had to take care of business. Oh, man, sorry I'm late, honey.
Yeah, no, I'm sure their wives and girlfriends are very worrying right now. Yeah, it's got to be kind of reassuring just seeing like your boy partying live on camera.
Yeah, like, yeah, you know where he is.
You know they're not out at any promiscuous club or anything. They're just drinking with the boys on live television.
Yeah, drinking on that. They're drinking on Maine. We just saw all these shirtless Red Sox players on Maine. I didn't even have to pay for Apple TV for that.
Yep. Yeah, no, we'll be canceling that immediately after the game. Please remind me if you're listening right now.
Yeah, if you're a streaming service listening to us right now, cut it out. I have too many. I don't need more. Relax.
Yeah.
Back to baseball. I mean, I'm probably I am the most excited that I have been for October baseball since 2018. Since 2018,
yeah.
Period.
No, honestly, yeah, no, same, because in 21 I was just happy to be there. In 21,
same.
Like my hopes for the 2021 team were beating the Yankees in the wild card and then not getting embarrassed by the Rays. And we ended up winning against the Rays. And once that happened, I was like, all in. I was like, we can beat the Astros. We can make it to the World Series. We can win that. But like this team, it's a little different because like this team, for a lot of part of this year, I almost felt like it was the 2016 or 2017 Red Sox where like you're just happy to be there, get that experience and everything. But I think now that we've gotten a little bit closer and now that we're actually here, like, you know, we're in the playoffs, I think this team can actually do something. Do I think they're the favorites to win the World Series? Absolutely not.
Nope.
But yeah, like, and that's fine. Even like, I just don't want to like be 2 games and done. I want to make it out of the wild card and ALDS and maybe even make it to the World Series. But like, it's nice knowing that's just not out of the picture either. Where every once in a while you have this team where they back into it and you know they're fine, but this team can compete in October.
Absolutely. And when you look at the other teams that are moving through October, do I think we're the favorites? I would lean towards no. But the other teams that we're going to be up against in the AL, I'm not as scared of them as I thought I would be. I'm really not. So as we're going to move more through that, like, I think we have a shot. I really think we have a chance against some of these other teams.
No, and I mean, when you have just that ace, game 1, Garrett Crochet.
Garrett Crochet.
Yeah. That ace, game 1, Sean Newcomb.
Yeah.
yeah. That ace, game 1, Brian Johnson. Anthony Renato, Henry Owens.
Wow. Yeah. Yep. Keep them coming. Yeah.
But anyways, you know that you have a chance to take a 1-game lead in a best of 3 or a best of 5, or even a best of 7 moving forward. So Alex Cora is going to be aggressive, as we saw tonight. We could see some mixing and matching. Even in 2018, I feel people forget Chris Sale came out of the bullpen in Game 4 of the ALDS, and that changed plans moving forward. So every single game is going to be one of those where it's always a must-win. We treated it like tonight. We did win against a team that's trying. It'd be one thing if it was against a team like the Orioles or the Rays where they're out of it and, they're just doing whatever. But this is a team trying. This is also a playoff game for Detroit. This was playoff games for the Blue Jays this last week, and we're winning them. We're coming back. It's competitive baseball, and if we're able to win these games, there's nothing saying that we can't win games in October.
There's nothing saying that. Frankly, I'm more afraid of the Tigers than I am a lot of our other contenders in the October bracket. But this team is trying. This team is trying. Like you said, they're showing Brian Bayo right now with a career best 3.34 ERA this season, which is just a stellar improvement from where he was. And even though he has been pitching well in recent years, 3.34, not only a career best, is an incredibly respectable ERA. So, I mean, this team has a lot of guts, has a lot of heart. I am going all in. I'm putting all my poker chips in on this team.
So I'm going to rewind a bit here, and maybe it's not even the time for this. This might be a better time for postseason retrospective. But let's jump back to, I believe it was June 18th.
Okay.
When we traded Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants for Kyle Harrison and Jordan Hicks and what ended up becoming Dustin May and some other slapdick prospect. Did you think at that time that something like this might happen where we would still make the playoffs when we were not in a playoff spot at that point? I don't believe.
Are you asking me, or is this...
I'm asking you.
You know what? Yes. I think that the Devers move, as painful as it was...
But at the time.
At the time, yes. Yes, I thought the move was very calculated. We have seen a lot of what happens when you clean house, as they would say in Moneyball, when you remove the negative energy from that clubhouse. I think I would have loved to have Devers on this team and would have felt better, but I didn't think removing him from the team was going to take the air out of your tires. I think even at that time, I had belief that this was going to be a playoff team.
See, I was distraught at the time.
Yeah.
Like, the big picture glasses were off. I was, obviously upset about it, especially with the way the Red Sox handled it. And Devers did not handle it any better. Like, looking back, I think I'm able to kind of see, that it was not a good marriage either side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I didn't give up at the season at that point, but I knew it was going to be an uphill battle. But the fact that we played better without him.
Yep.
And I'm not thinking about the Giants tonight, but they didn't make it. And that's not Devers' fault. He did well there. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a lot of other problems wrong with that team. But, like, the fact that it was Kyle Harrison tonight, and, you were able to make it, and, Buster Posey spent a whole lot of money just to be in the same spot where we spent a lot of money and actually ended up doing what we needed to, says a lot. And it's not easy.
I totally agree. Do you think we would be where we are tonight if we did not have such massive contributions from the rookies on this team?
Oh, man. So, the rookies have been what we have been waiting for, really, these last 3-4 years. We've been, kind of force-fed over the last 2 years before this, being like, all these postseason misses and everything have been to bring these guys up and, get these better draft picks and, call up Roman and Meyer and Campbell. And at the end of the day, none of those guys are here. But, that doesn't mean they didn't contribute. And you had other guys like Payne Tolley and Connolly Early and, some of the other pitchers. And just all contribute, and that farm system definitely ended up mattering. I definitely felt like entering in this year, the big difference between this season and a lot of other seasons was the depth. And that's not only the big guys, but that's like at every position. We had, your first baseman go down at the beginning of the year, which we already talked about, and you figured it out. You thought you had your second baseman in Bregman or Campbell, and neither of them ended up playing out too much there. And then you had to trade your DH, which we literally just talked about. And, other years, that's going to sink you. Other years, even 2 out of those 5 things or whatever are going to be things that are just killer and you can't come back with. And we've seen that. Like, each of the last 3 years, we have not been a bad team coming out of spring, but we haven't had those dudes to fill in roles that have been needed, and we didn't address them at the deadline. We didn't even really address them at this deadline either. But like this year, you at least had true major leaguers that are on the 40-man, and you've put on the 40-man that are actual guys that are going to contribute not only for this year, but in the future years. So I think that's kind of the biggest difference, is not even like the top end talent, is just the guys filling in those roles and making sure that you're still a good competitive club.
Yeah, I think just as much as the rookies have contributed, which no doubt they definitely did. Like, a lot of those wins came from hits from Roman Anthony or performances from Peyton Tolley. I think just as much so, the veteran leadership you were able to pull together throughout the season is what made those rookies fantastic. And we saw that with Trevor Story just really emerging from his cocoon after the past few years that he has had. Nate Lowe joining the team a bit late, but is still offering a lot to this team. Romy Gonzalez has a lot of veteran leadership to him now. Jaron Duran has really stepped up in the past few years. So like, the rookies did a lot, and I think just as much Alex Bregman too. Your grounding presence on the baseball field itself allowed those rookies to perform well and allowed this team to stay locked in.
Yeah, no, you absolutely nailed it there, where the last few years you had the 1 year of Justin Turner being Unk in the clubhouse and
Unk.
Like, yeah, like just being able to like be a veteran presence and, a guy that, came up from not being a top prospect into being an everyday guy and like being in the Hall pretty good. Shout out them. But this year, having Alex Bregman come in, being that guy that has won and being that guy that was a top dude like Roman and Marcelo, and eventually Christian Campbell too, even though he wasn't a top pick. Like, having somebody that knows a lot of those expectations of what it means to come up and contribute and be an actual major leaguer, where that pressure can definitely add up for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Like, that can get to the head of a lot of guys, keeps them humble, and, have them learn a lot. And, there wasn't a lot of guys for Justin Turner to do that, too, at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to have somebody like that, and then have somebody just, Trevor Story has been here the last few years, obviously. He's been, not on the field, so I feel like just having him play 140 plus games at this point? Yeah, like easily, probably 150. It feels like he's out there every day. Just having him be out there contributing, 2020 guy, solid defense is also just so big for those like young kids out there. Not only for this year, but for the following years too.
Absolutely.
And not only for them, those kids, don't forget, in 5 or 6 years are going to be those veterans for the next group of guys coming up.
Right.
And, that tree just keeps on expanding.
Mm-hmm. And we were saying earlier, how lucky are we that we got the healthy version of Trevor Story this year, and how many games he's played at shortstop, because what is our current backup plan for shortstop? Meyer, who's hurt?
Yeah.
Was it Campbell, who didn't make it past
Campbell is
April.
never going to play shortstop.
Yeah.
He couldn't play
So your
second,
backup plans there were David Hamilton, who is a serviceable enough shortstop, but on the other side of things, the base running, we saw a lot of holes in that this year. Romy Gonzalez too, who was really excellent, a huge piece of this team this year. I just don't know if he's the shortstop you need. So how lucky are we that we had a healthy shortstop for the entire year, and Trevor Story, as tired as he was, I'm sure, coming into tonight, playing 140 games, showed that he is a resilient player so that all these other guys can look at him and be like, I have a little more in me.
Yeah, no, Trevor Story might, outside of Garrett Crochet, be the Red Sox MVP this year.
Yep.
Like, I can't think of another guy that has contributed on both sides of the field.
Yep.
Like, it really has been not only, like, those guys, or, like, the dude where it's just like, oh, yeah, like, I've, like, done well, or, oh, no, I'm that, like, veteran clubhouse presence, almost like a Justin Turner. No shade at all.
Yep.
But, like, the fact that he was able to come back from that absolute mid-April and disastrous May to be an above average bat at this point, even with the grand total of things, and be a 25-25 dude, had that stolen base record out of nowhere. And, apart from a few flub ups here and there, he's not an above average shortstop, but, like, he's been very serviceable for you there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the ball, the last few years when we've had Kike or whoever else,
Sadon was also not great at short.
Exactly. When, like, you're holding your breath out there, I haven't had that with Trevor Story. Every time the ball is hit to him, I think there's at least a chance to make the play. And even if he doesn't make it, it's very rarely like, hey, come on. There have been some this month, but like all around, even if it's like another -2 or -3 outs above average, I'm going to take that over the -10 to 12 that we've had over the last few years.
I mean, I'd give him even more credit than that, right? I'd have to look up what the official numbers are. I don't have them in front of me, but you can trust that Trevor Story at shortstop will make the routine plays every time, which I don't think you were able to trust your most recent guys with that. And sure, there were a few hiccups here and there, but you can trust Trevor Story to make the routine plays. So you knew you were getting one out. You knew you were getting 2 outs. Yeah. And when he missed, that was the outlier, as opposed to what it has been in recent years, which is like 50-50 shot, they get the routine play. Trevor Story, I can rely on making the routine play.
No, absolutely. He was a guy I did not have a lot of faith in coming in this year.
You would not be alone. You would not be alone.
And I really don't. Yeah, there's sometimes where, like, I'm like, oh, I was dumb on that, but in this case, I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong.
It's a good thing to be wrong about. It really is.
I would much rather be wrong about a guy doing good than the opposite way around.
You wanting a guy to be good and then he is bad.
There's a lot of people out there where I think they would rather have Story or whoever it is be bad because it fits their narrative. But I would much rather be wrong and have them be good than like be like, I was right about this guy.
I think that goes for a lot of guys on this team. You look at them and you're like, God, I want them to suck, so we get rid of them. And I'm like, no, any guy on this team doing a good job only does good things.
Even
for this
David
team.
Hamilton this year, I wanted him to do good.
Yes.
Yeah, and I knew there was a lot of potential for him to do good too, which is always good.
Always good.
Yeah, and I still think, not to pick on him, there's still a lot of room to be good on there, and I think he makes the playoff roster.
I do too.
I think it's a little bit more a question because Nate Eaton has done so good.
I was just about to ask, does Nate Eaton make your playoff roster?
It's one of the two.
You think it's Hamilton or Eaton?
I think you only need one speed guy out there. You're putting your best lineup out every day. And they used Nate Eaton today to tie up the game.
They did, but you weren't going to replace Romy at second unless you needed to.
Well, they pinch ran for Narvaez, so they were going to have to replace either Hamilton or Eaton with Connor Wong because neither of them could.
Are Eaton and Hamilton both lefties or both righties, or
Hamilton is a lefty, Eaton is a righty.
Okay.
But that doesn't make a difference when you're a pinch runner. Because
that's true.
Yeah, because they would either guy would have had to come out of the game for Connor Wong, which Nate Eaton did eventually after scoring the game tying run. So I think them going to Eaton as a pure pinch runner, no defense, no batting involved, I think it says a lot.
It does. I would love to have both of them on the playoff roster, but I kind of feel similarly that if
you might only have one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you'd love to have both, but your 26 man is likely going to come down to Eaton or Hamilton. It's tricky. It's really hard.
And you do have Nick Sogard, which is your 27th guy, and then one of the pitchers has to be the 26th guy or 27th. 28th guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. You guys get what
Math.
I'm saying. But you could have both, but it's hard to see a dynamic postseason roster where you need both of those guys, especially when, the outfield's pretty much set. You want Williard to kind of be in that everyday role, even against lefties. Sadon's going to be out there every day. Duran's going to be out there every day. So it depends on what gives you more versatility. And if I have to depend on versatility, I might go David Hamilton because of the defense.
Yeah, well, Nate Eaton can play third
faster.
base.
Yeah.
Nate Eaton can play
true.
third base as well.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, we all forget about that because, why would you ever move Bregman off of third base? I would think that's only an injury kind of question, which, knock on wood, we don't see that.
Yeah,
but
you worry about that when you worry about that.
Exactly. But I don't know who's your backup second baseman. If you don't have David Hamilton, who plays second base if Romy's not playing second base? That's the question.
No, that's true. That's a good point.
Is it me?
It could be you or me or anybody at this point.
Is it Connor Wong?
God, please no.
Because, so here's my thinking is if you don't take Hamilton...
That's an emergency. An emergency, yes.
Yes.
An emergency, yes.
There are worse things than Connor Wong at second. But if you don't bring Hamilton into the playoff roster, then your backup second baseman is Sadon, who should stay in center field.
That's a good point.
I'm just calling it like I see it. You know what else is a good point?
I'm less worried about backups in the playoffs.
Yep. Me too.
And if Sadon has to play an inning or two out there, so let it be.
Let it be.
And you know what? Somehow, even with him being the best defensive center fielder in baseball, he still ended up being above average at second base.
Did he really?
I was so against it because I thought he was negative there, but he did end up being positive. It's small sample size.
Sure.
Sample size. I'm sure over the course of 162 or however that you need, whatever. Doesn't matter.
You don't know. Right. We don't have those numbers.
Yeah. And he's better at second than he is at short.
Yep.
As most guys are.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, keep him in center. Keep him in center. He is the best defensive center fielder. He hit the walk-off for you tonight. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
He loves the moment. He loves the moment. And there was 3 walk-offs he's done this year. All 3 in big moments. I'm crazy about him. I love the guy.
Even though one of them was like the funniest walk-off you're going to see of all time.
Yeah, well, you know what? That still counts. That's still egg in the hand. Bird in the hand. Bird in the egg. 1 in the hand.
One in the hand, 2 in the bush.
Yeah. It's funny looking at Alana Rizzo next to all these like 6'5" giants, and she's what, 5'1", 5'2", 17-time Emmy Award winning journalist, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just so occupied by all these shirtless dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. I also love that they're passing around fat stogies in the clubhouse.
They're having fun. These boys deserved it. Like, kind of the opposite reminds me of 2016. So anybody that remembers that is when we clinched a postseason spot by backing in. I forget who lost, but like it was like bottom of the 9th, and it was just like we clinched a playoff spot, and you know all these dudes are scoreboard watching. Mm-hmm. And then Craig Kimbrell comes in against the Yankees. I believe it's a 3-run lead, and immediately gives up a few runs, and then it's bases loaded, no outs, down by 1.
And then what?
Joe Kelly comes in,
Oh, no.
gets 2 outs immediately.
Oh, and then all good things, right?
Yeah, except for the Mark
no.
Teixeira walk-off grand slam.
Oh.
And then we have to walk off and be like, we still clinched a postseason spot. Like, come on, guys. Let's celebrate after this walk-off grand slam. And we didn't have that happen tonight. We got to celebrate not only on a win, but on a walk-off.
On a walk-off win from Cedon, who pumps it, 410 to center, just misses that home run. I thought he had it for a second.
I wasn't sure. I did get a notification being like, Red Sox win. So, when it was off the wall, I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't want to spoil anything. The reaction was still very sincere. It wasn't like I had, game day up and it was just in play runs. It was spoiled by about 2-3 seconds at most.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm actually okay with it in this spot. Yeah.
Thank you for not spoiling it for me. I appreciate it. I would have thought you were Nostradamus. You almost did call one in the 6th, though.
I did, yeah. I almost called the Sadon double a home run.
Yeah, which he hit the red tape. He was off by, 6 inches?
Literal inches.
Yeah, almost nothing. Almost nothing. I am so excited to see what this team does. When is our first playoff game?
It's going to be Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday?
Yeah,
okay.
Since we did get eliminated from the AL East, which is fine. We weren't going to win that.
Yep.
So still TBD, but you know what? We'll bring it up to a game in the 9th here. I want you to guess who is the Red Sox opponents in the wild card, ALDS, World Series, and then potentially World Series. Or, sorry, wild card, ALDS, CS, and then World Series. Sorry.
You want me to guess if we make it all the way, who our opponents would be?
Yeah, no, we're going to assume the Red Sox win the World Series here, as we should in this game.
Correct.
But who are we beating each round in order to get there?
Got it. Well, statistically and most likely, our first match is going to be the Yankees and then into the Blue Jays. After that, who do the Mariners play? Who are they playing against?
Probably the Guardians.
I would think the Red Sox see the Guardians before they see the Mariners. There, I said it.
So, yeah, I also, you know what? I'm going to say, I think Blue Jays end up fucking it up.
Okay,
I think
knock on wood.
I think we face the Blue Jays in the wild card. And I would almost rather have that. I would rather face the Blue Jays in a best-of-3 than the Yankees in a best-of-3. And vice versa. I would much rather face the Yankees in a best-of-5 than the Blue Jays in a best-of-5.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So maybe this is just wishful thinking, but I think we go Blue Jays, then Yankees, and then Mariners. I think we would have to face the Mariners in the ALCS. I see them beating Cleveland or Detroit or whoever they end up having to face. And then who do you have facing the Red Sox in the World Series?
In the World Series, I think it's going to be the Dodgers. I know, call me boring for thinking the Dodgers, but there is a much different atmosphere in playing baseball in October versus September, just a few days before. And the Brewers have been an absolutely stellar team, and I think if anyone upsets, it's going to be the Brewers. But as far as the bright lights, the Dodgers have more experience in October baseball in recent years than any other team, and I think that's what's going to bring the Dodgers to the World Series. So I think, especially at the beginning of the year, we saw all the predictions. I think we are going to see the Red Sox and the Dodgers playing in the World Series.
I like that, and we got a comment from Esteban here. Red Sox clinch postseason, yes.
Woo!
Red Sox fan from Baltimore, Maryland. So, thank you for joining us.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love Red Sox fans from places that are not Boston, especially Baltimore.
Like I was saying, I think we face the Blue Jays, then the Yankees, and the Mariners. I don't know why. I think we face the Phillies in the World Series.
Okay.
Even without Zach Wheeler, their ace, and I know Walker Buehler's been fine, whatever. I don't care.
He's
But
been excellent,
They
actually.
find a way. They're a good, well-rounded ball club. I think they can find a way to contribute. Could be the Padres, could be the Dodgers, could be the Brewers, who are the best team in the NL this year.
Yep.
But I somehow just feel like the Phillies will find a way there despite everything they've gone through this year.
Well, they do have Ranger Suarez, who historically
And
has
Christopher
been excellent.
Sanchez, who might be runner-up in Cy Young. Yeah.
Who out of nowhere, did you see Christopher Sanchez performing that well this year?
I barely knew the name.
Yeah. You
And
barely knew the name
And
Sanchez?
then he threw a complete game shutout against us. It was just like, okay, I know who this is now, yeah.
Yeah, well, Christopher Sanchez, if he shows up, is going to be great. Ranger Suarez for them. Bueller, another big game pitcher. Like, we'll see what he does for them, but he's a guy who's also historically been great under the bright lights. So the Phillies, I think the NL is a lot scarier than the AL heading towards the World Series, tell you the truth. But my definitive is going to be, I think we face the Yankees, then the Blue Jays, and then the Guardians, and then the Dodgers.
I like the Guardians making it, yeah.
I think they do.
I'm hoping they got too hot earlier, because that's what happened with the 2017 Red Sox. People forget is like they were red hot entering in October.
You are such a pervert, dude.
I am such a pervert.
Red Sox pervert.
Yeah, and then like they went in on went into like the last week of like winning like 12 of 13, and then they like cooled off last week of the season, and then just ended up fucking giving it to like the Guardians that year, or Astros that year.
Yeah, definitely. I
Momentum means a lot, and this team has momentum no matter what happens over the last two games.
totally agree. But I think my bigger prediction is that the Mariners do not make it past their second round. Maybe they win the wild card, but I don't think they win after
I
that.
also would not be shocked about that. That's
I think they're a great team. Love what the Mariners are doing this year. I think their lack of exposure to bright lights is what's going to hurt them, and I think the Guardians are going to do great. And the Tigers, I mean, with Tarek Skubal going game one, if he continues to perform,
they might need him in game 162. We'll see.
They very well could, actually. I didn't
Let's
think
say
about
we
that.
win tomorrow. They might need Skubal 162.
You wouldn't just like throw the next two games so the Tigers can enter into the
Tomorrow we're putting out David Hamilton and Nate Eden and Nick Sogard.
at pitcher.
Yeah. But game 162, I think Cora might want to keep the wheels a little greased.
Keep them jazzed.
I think they might like not put up their A lineup. I think somebody like Alex Bregman's probably going to sit. Somebody like Jaron Duran, who's played a lot this year, is probably going to sit. But Willier's going to be out there to get at bats. Sadon's going to be out there to get at bats. Romy, Lau. You'll probably still have Wong out there, but like you will have you'll see a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. And it might not be like a starter, or it could be just like a random slapdick, but they might be trying a whole lot harder than us. But I think, for those guys like filling in that role, it's not going to be nothing to them.
Yep.
At the same time, like they're going to still be trying, and they're not going to be like one of those like, whatever, I'll just get my bats in, like almost spring training. Like it still matters a lot to them.
Well, who deserves a night off is Trevor Story.
Yeah, no, Trevor Story, if he's playing tomorrow, I'm going to riot.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to make me riot tomorrow. But
Yeah, if he wants to play, that's different, right? He loves his stats. He loves making records. But if you put David Hamilton at shortstop...
you know what? Before we sign off here,
Yep.
I want to hear tomorrow's lineup.
You want to hear tomorrow's lineup.
I want to hear the
my
hungover
God.
lineup.
The hungover lineup. All right, well...
You don't have to go position by position, but like just the one through
Nah,
nine,
dude,
yeah.
Abe Toro at catcher.
Okay.
No, JK. It's going to be Wong at catcher. I think you got Nate Lowe at first.
Yeah.
Yep. I think at second, man, I think you still have Romy at second as well. I think at shortstop, you have David Hamilton. At third base, you have Nate Eaton. In the outfield, you have Rob Refsnyder. I think you have Jarren Duran tomorrow. I think he wants to play. And then Sadon, I'm torn. I'd love to give him the night off, but I think Sadon's still going to be out there. And then at pitcher, I think it's going to be the first Red Sox fan that walks into the park is the pitcher tomorrow.
I'm pretty close to that. At catcher, you have Connor Wong. First base, you have Lau. At second base, you have Romy.
Okay. Yep.
At shortstop, you have Nick Sogard.
Okay.
Who is still on the 28-man roster.
Okay.
So I think you give Trevor Story a day off his feet.
Yep.
At third base, I think you have Nadine.
Mm-hmm.
At left field, oh man, actually, you know what? At second base, you have David Hamilton.
And shortstop, you have Nick Sogard.
In left field, you have Romy Gonzalez. You know what? He gets a rep out there.
Yeah,
he has played out there. It's
him
not
and
like
Christian Arroyo both.
Yeah, and then in center field, you have Sadon, and in right field, you have Willier. And you still have Connolly early going tomorrow. And this is even nicer because you don't have to do what you did with Kyle Harrison tonight, where like you pull him at the first sign of danger. You can have Connolly early go out there, and hopefully he does well. But also, if he gets in trouble in the fourth inning, then you don't have to pull him right away. You don't have to use Justin Slayton in the fourth inning, obviously.
Nope.
So I think they let him go out there 85 to 95 pitches. So I think that's the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think you closed with Peyton Tolley. Why not?
Does Peyton Tolley make the playoff roster?
It's really hard to say.
Because it's a good debate, yeah.
It's Tolley or Murphy. And, May's injured, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for May because he's injured. In terms of stuff, I think Tolley, yes, does make the playoff roster.
I think in terms of stuff, yes, I agree. But I think Murphy does because he can show you that he's a consistent guy to be that garbage time dude that keeps you in the game. So I do think that depending on the round, you can change it round through round. I think they might go Murphy over Tolley, even despite having to add him and despite having to subject him to some tough spots. But I think last night settled it when you were in a garbage time 6-1 and you had him keep you in that game. Yeah. And he probably could have pitched you another inning. So I think that meant a lot. If I had to pick one of the two, I think I might go Murphy.
You go Murphy over Tolley.
And Murphy and Tolley, that fastball's so good. He's going to be such an ace. But,
yeah.
I don't think you risk it.
I think that's fair.
I don't think you want to put Tolley out in a playoff spot where you have to depend on him to go out 3 and he gets absolutely shelled. If Murphy goes out there in a low leverage game, gives you 3, gives up 7, I feel like that matters a little less than your best pitching prospect.
Yeah.
I feel like, that's not going to be good for him. But I feel like it matters a little less than, if you have somebody that might be your legitimate ace moving forward, fuck up in that spot, I feel like that's going to hurt him a lot more than, if Chris Murphy fucks up in a spot, I feel like he could still come back.
He can dust off.
He could dust off a little bit more, yeah. I feel like that's a good way to put it, yeah. I'm less worried about all that, yeah. Yeah. Oh, we got a comment from Fitzimo Pena here saying, let's put it on the screen here.
Yep.
I like the Boston Red Sox. I agree. Agreed.
Totally agree. Yeah. Fitzimo Pena at Pot on Lansdowne, friends of the show, of course.
We'll have to. I feel like we have to have him on for another trade deadline
Oh,
not trade deadline. Winter
meeting.
meetings episode, because last time we had them scheduled, we traded for Garrett Crochet. So anytime you guys want to come on, obviously you guys are great, love you. But like last time we had you guys scheduled on, we traded for an ace. So we should have that happen again.
That's why they call it Not Another Sox Podcast on Lansdowne.
By the way, I was looking today. Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
We got a confirmation saying the episode will happen.
Winter episodes will happen. Love it. Love to hear it.
Garrett Crochet leads all of baseball in innings pitched this year, by the way.
He does, and strikeouts.
And strikeouts, yeah. But, like, that was the big concern coming into the year, is, like, the workload management. And we trotted him out there.
Did he manage it?
He is. He managed it, yeah. And I'm not worried about what's going to happen in October in terms of versus workload. He's so good that you worry about that later. But, like, this is the dude that is that ace. We traded for him to, like, be that frontline starter, and you took a risk knowing that, like, he hasn't had that workload, but, like, the writing was on the wall that he was the dude.
Yep.
And he ended up being that dude, and that's all that you can ask for.
Yeah, if only we knew another White Sox pitcher, reliever turned starter, who ended up being a stud for the Boston Red Sox just in time.
Yeah.
Right? We got more from Fitzy Mopena.
Yeah.
I love
what are you
having
gonna
friends
do?
in the
Ian,
chat.
look away. Webster, ask Ian how it feels to get smoked in fantasy baseball playoffs. So, Ian, how does that feel?
Did you want me to hear it both times that you said it, or just the first time, or just the second time?
No, well, you didn't answer it the first time, so how about the second time? Yeah.
You know what? It makes me hungry. It makes me ready to come back for next year. You played a good round against Fitzy Mopena in our fantasy baseball league. It sucks that I had Framber Valdez pitching for me, who all of a sudden just blew up. And also, I was in Europe for the entirety of that round, so did what I could. Fitzy played a great game. He drafted a great team. So shout out to Fitz for winning the Podcasters League of fantasy.
You represented
baseball.
us well.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. You made the playoffs. If you didn't make the playoffs, I would be fucking flamed.
Dude, imagine I went like
anything can
0
happen,
for
yeah.
16.
Because you did not do well in our personal league this year.
No, I actually did pretty shit for ass in our personal league this year.
Yeah. And you know what? I made it to the semifinals, but did not make.
Oh, you didn't win? You didn't win in your league?
I won last year.
Have you thought about cheating? It's
still
your
could.
league.
I still
It's
could.
your
I
league.
still
Just
could,
make
yeah.
up. You could just switch all the numbers around. I think you could do that. It's yours. It's your league. Authoritarianism doesn't matter if you're playing fantasy.
That's true.
Yeah. But on that note, what a night.
Yeah, what a night. The boys are still celebrating. I got to watch more of this, but like, I'm glad we got that live reaction.
Me too.
I'm glad we got our immediate thoughts and everything else. We'll do another episode before the start of the wild card series once we officially know who you could face, because it could be like almost half a dozen teams, it feels like at this point.
Yeah. Still a lot up in the air for 2 games left to play, but could be just about
but not
anyone.
for us. Not for us. Yeah.
Nope, not for us. We are in it. Why don't we
These boys are so excited.
Oh
They're
my
having
god,
the
dude.
time of their
They're
life.
shirtless.
I need like a Mike Napoli like shirtless throughout Boston picture tonight.
Yeah, dude, Garrett Crochet, he's joining the team. Everyone
Yeah.
get naked. Wow, someone's showing a nip?
Yep.
I think
Alrighty.
that's our episode.
Alrighty. This is the time to end it. Okay. I love you.
No,
I
I love
love the
you.
Red
Okay, I love
Sox.
you.
Okay, I love you. Bye.
No, I love you. Okay, love you. Bye. Okay, love you. Bye. Okay, love you. No, I love
We are going